of being the dean of the school, heads of departments, my own head of department of sociology, graduate students, national service, undergraduate students, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to this exhibition of the Department of Sociology's scholarly work. Madam Dean, if you recall, I did talk a little bit about the history of the department during the opening session that we had right here. So today I'll just give a short overview. Of course, for a department that is 75 years old, you can imagine that we have done quite a lot, and the area of focus has also changed over time. I have divided what we have done so far in the 75 years into the 5 generations. Some of you may know them, but you know the founding head, Professor K. Busia, established the university in 1950. But most of the lecturers at that time were from the United Kingdom, the UK. They were mostly from Oxford, Cambridge, University of London, who took a leave to come and teach and work here. And most of them were also anthropologists, we could say. In fact, including Professor Busia himself, who graduated in social anthropology, his PhD on the position of the chiefs in modern Ashanti was an anthropological study. So I would say 5 generations. The founding generations, Prof. Busia, then the next, I identify another 2nd generation led by Professor DeGraff Johnson, whom we can call, let's say, the first Ghanaian head of department. This will include, of course, Professor Fiao, Professor Norte, and so on. Whilst the foundational lecturers concentrated a bit more into anthropology, or we call it ethnography. The 2nd generation diversified more into sociology. That is, if you like, social problems. So the department continued to change considerably. So we had that 2nd generation. Then we had the 3rd generation. I would classify Prof. Siming, who was into religion, Latin, that was his main area. And then we had Prof. Nukunya, of course. And then we had also Prof. Chumisi. There are others we could also add into. Some of them left the department, but they are still around. Their areas of specialization, Nukunya was more into ethnography of the Anlo people and family. And then, of course, Prof. Chimesi is quite renowned for medical sociology, particularly its indigenization, moving away from Western medical systems into the local Ghanaian and the traditional medical systems. So, broadly, those were the areas that they did research into. Then, of course, we had what we can call a fourth generation who have either extended this research. I'm talking of Prof. Tonah, who is with us here, also a medical sociologist or anthropologist who has extended some of the works of Prof. Chumesi. Then Dr. Winknedo went into industrial or sociology of work. Industrial sociology, sociology of work. So a continuation of what we already was doing. Then we have Professor Clara Fayose. She's not here, but those of you who were at the lunch, she gave the keynote. Prof. Fayose is into demography, population studies, and then gender was also some of the areas. And we also had last but not least in that group, we have Prof. Chris Abochi, who went into prisons and then police administration. We had over there at the social work, and one or two studies on the judiciary, but mainly prisons and police administration. The four and a half or fifth generation, the rest of us, 4.5 generations, got in between the four that I've listed. You find most of our lecturers, the works that are displayed, we have categorized them into five main areas. One, globalization, economy and development. Two, health, illness and well-being. Three, gender, family and children. Four, religion, chieftaincy and culture. And last but not the least, we have sociology of work, industry and organizations. The names, I think what's going to happen is the lecturers will also accompany us, those who are here, and they will be by their works, so they can talk to it a little bit. Some were also able to provide a one-page summary of their works for those who are interested, which you can take along. So because they are here, I would not go into the details of the lecturers and the groups that they belong to. You would actually see them when you get into the rooms. We have grouped the papers into these 5 broad areas. So ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'll thank you for your attention and then invite you to have a look and then the opportunity to, of course, ask questions into our ultra-modern library dedicated to one of our illustrious scholars, Professor Mark Sassimi of blessed memory. So we are very happy to welcome all of you. I think what will happen is the dean will lead us into the room, and then all of us, the heads of department will follow, and all of us would follow. I'm not sure the place can contain all of us at a time. I would therefore suggest that the visiting colleague heads of department will join the dean, and then the lecturers will stand by their podium, so to speak, the 5 collections, to introduce their areas. It's just a collection. It's just a collection of some of the works that we have been doing. Later on, we want to put a table here with some of the books that we have published. So it's mainly articles that we'll find. The books will be displayed as part of the sociology conference. So on that note, I will hand over to Dr. McCovey to continue with the proceedings.
Prof will never disappoint.